how does the album process work? So if you've booked the album package with your photos or photos and film, so I'm just going to run you through the process of ordering your album afterwards. Now, if you haven't ordered an album, you can still do that, you know, straight after the wedding. A lot of people just book the digital package and stuff, and you can always add to your packages before the end, you know, just before the wedding or even after the wedding. You can always add it after, it's no problem at all. A couple of weeks after your wedding, all right, you received all your photos. They come on an online gallery. I'll put a link in the description to a full online gallery so you kind of see a full wedding and you can see what you get. But that's what you're going to receive first of all. You're going to have, say you've had one photographer, you're going to have about 500 or 600 photos to go through. It can be a bit of a minefield because there's so many photos, okay? But what you do is with the gallery, you can just go through favoriting all your photos. So you can go through to a big favorites list. Now what we say, a 15 spread album, which is our standard albums, okay? You want about 90 pictures in there. So you can push it, some people put over 100, you know, but you don't want to pack the album out too much. You want, you know, the right amount of images on there. So I would say between 80, 100 photos, maybe 80, 90, maybe go to 100. You might go through your photos and you've gone through and you've got like 160 photos favorited. Obviously, but then you can just cull them down. So you can, let's cull them down to 100 photos. Now, if you can't cull it down, it's 120, 140, you can always just add extra pages to your album. If you want this 150 photos in your album, have 150 photos in your album, but just maybe add a couple of pages in the book, which again, it's just not a problem, you just add the pages. Then you've got everything you want in that album. Right, you've chosen all your wedding photos, okay, so now we go to the design. This is quite a simple process. So when we send it to our designers, they send it back to us. Say you've got your 15 spreads. Now it comes to you and you can obviously see each spread, all right? And then you can approve each page. You obviously get to, it's not a case of we design it, there's your album. You get to show you're happy with each page and you can make as many changes as you like, right? Say, this is what they do, that very rarely do people make changes, or it's a couple of, I'll change your mind on that photo or something like that. But they design it, it just sort of follows the day through. You know, sometimes like a bride and groom shot might have a whole page. It's very great the way they do it. But anyway, that's done. Once you're happy with that, you approve every page. Once that goes to the designers, and then we're ready for the next section to actually pick the covers and etc. for the book. With the album covers and everything now, it can be a little bit of a minefield. There's so many different variations of covers and everything. Obviously, I'm going to send you some links so you can see it all online. But here's what I would say, is if you've got the time and you're not far from, I'm in Southend, so you can make a day of it. You can come down for a little, get yourself an ice cream down on the seafront, all right? Pop and see me. And I've got plenty of samples here. Sometimes it's nice to actually see a wedding album, you know, the album itself, feel what, you know, it feels like, and I've got little sachets for all the little covers and stuff. So you can do it online, but if you actually want to come on, get a hands-on look, you can come here and we can decide 100% what cover, and, you know, because the box can be different to the cover and stuff like that. So it's a nice way to know exactly what you're going to receive. So you've chosen the pictures, we've done the design, you're happy with that, and we've done the cover. Okay, once that's it. It goes to print. All right, and the good thing about this, they don't take long. Again, sometimes peak season a little bit longer, but it's only a few weeks normally, and then literally delivered to your door is your album. Now, a couple of little options. Obviously, you've got parent out. You can have parent albums. Again, this is why sometimes coming to see me, I can show you, because sometimes when companies offer you parent albums, you need to check the size and what they are, because sometimes parent albums come as these tiny little booklets, and I wouldn't call it an album, I call it a booklet, okay? But there's one of the companies I use at the moment, Photo. They do some super deals where they will do a copy of exactly your album, even the same size. Say you have a 12x12 album, they'll do a 12x12 album. Because you've had your one and they're copies of your one, the deals they do on them are fantastic. So, you know, always ask us about the deals and stuff like that. Don't forget to catch the whole series of frequently asked questions. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. You'll also see loads of our latest films coming out on there, so you keep up to date with what we're doing. Thanks for watching. You have a wonderful and blessed day.